and welcome to the Big Reviewski with Chicago Town Pizza. My name's Owen, there's Rory, and as you can see, we are full of festive frivolity today, and it's flippin' fantastic. Rory, where can I get your jumper? I want it, and I want it now, please.
It's the only one in the whole world. I actually came back from the future and brought this with me. It's the only thing. I could have brought an almanac that could have helped me become a billionaire, but this jumper just really stood out, so sorry.
No, it's fine. You definitely made the correct decision there as opposed to going for like unlimited wealth. One jumper was definitely the correct shout. What do you think of my amazing outfit? I don't know if you can see it. I know it looks like a sideways glittery dicky bow. All, they all look different, but look, it's actually very festive underneath. Can you see? You see?
It's a Christmas tie.
It is a Christmas tie. I'm realizing I'm looking way more formal than you, but if you fancy swapping after the show, just let me know.
No.
No, okay, fair enough. 'Tis the season for lots of amazing movie and TV show recommendations, and we do have a super selection coming up for you on today's episode of the Big Reviewski. As well as that, we also have a one-for-all €200 voucher courtesy of our good friends over at Chicago Town Pizza to give away. So if you're in the run up to Christmas thinking about that special somebody and you want to get them that special something, then this is your opportunity to do that. All you have to do is head over to JOE.ie to be able to chance of winning that competition. And Rory, in a completely hypothetical scenario, if you were to win that voucher and I was your special someone, and for legal reasons, we have to point out that you can't win that voucher and I am not your special someone. But hypothetically, if that was the case, what would you actually get me? Say the jumper, please.
I'd get you a cheap knockoff of this jumper. Just so people can see it and go, that's a nice jumper. And then they see my jumper and go, oh, that's a really nice jumper. Yeah.
There's always a selfish catch, but that's completely understandable. That's all good. Now, normally at this point of the show, we go through our movie news, and any of the streaming platforms, they always like to make a big song and dance about the releases. And like just in the last few days alone, we have had the release of all 8 Harry Potter movies have landed on Now and Sky. So that's going to be the perfect watch for Christmas. That should eat up about one day over Christmas, essentially. But Rory, I know you're a Harry Potter fan, but can you remember the 8 Harry Potter films off the top of your head? You're a film expert after all.
Jeez. Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Half-Blood Prince, The Two Deathly Hallows, and Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, we won't say anything about the order of the movies, but those all are 100% correct. But they normally shout about those things, but every so often, people like Netflix and Amazon Prime Video, they keep things under wraps and they quietly add some amazing classic and class films. I'm going to whisper for this bit.
Okay.
So they did this just in the past week, but we've picked out 8 of our favorite movies that they've quietly added to Netflix and Prime Video. So here goes. Add all of these to your watch list, please. Up first, we have End of Watch on Netflix. We also have Nanny McPhee, Detective Pikachu. Those 3 are all available to watch with your Netflix subscription. And on Prime Video, we have The Prestige, 7, Crazy Stupid Love, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and The Wedding Singer. So some amazing films there. Correct, Rory?
Yeah. Like we're in Christmas season, December, so now is the perfect time to watch 7 and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah, just to really get into that warm and fuzzy feeling. Did I ever tell you I went to see The Wedding Singer 4 times in the cinema? All because of a girl and just trying to win her over on multiple dates. So I thought it would be a good idea to go and see that film a whopping 4 times. So never worked out, but well, you should still watch the film.
Yeah, just the once though, I think is enough.
Just watch it the once. Yeah, fair enough. Enough about my terrible love life though. And you never know, I may go and see this next film once or 4 times in the cinema. What is our big release this week, Rory?
Yeah, this week's one and only big release is Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which is unrelated to the Mila Jovovich. What's the word when it's 6 but not a trilogy? It's not sixology. Whatever that.
Septology? No, sixology?
Let's go with sixology. It sounds sixy, but so it's not related to those movies. It does attempt to adapt the plot of the first 3 Resident Evil games, which I think is clever because some games just don't have enough plot to warrant an entire movie, so they've smushed the first three together. It's got a pretty good cast. Guy Scodelario, who was in Crawl, and Tom Hopper, and Leon S. Kennedy is played by Avan Yogya. Like all the characters from the games that you absolutely love are well portrayed here. The look of Raccoon City is good. The problem is, for a zombie movie, it is not scary in the slightest, which is, fundamentally a bit of an issue with a horror movie. You just really wish the writer-director hadn't paid as much attention to trying to, really adapt the games and make it feel true to the source material, and given us a couple of really good scares. Because I know it's December and it's, festive and blah, 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 but this could have been, like, they had the making of being maybe the best video game adaptation, because it has the cast, it has everything in place, and it just is let down by the lack of scary stuff, which I know you'll be quite happy about, Owen, because scary movies are your bag.
Both as a gamer and as a massive horror fan, yeah, I'm delighted to hear that this is coming in the kind of the not so scary category. To be fair, you want every single film you've ever seen, like Enchanted or whatever magical Disney film has been made, you're like, just it could have been scarier anyway. So that's your go-to. But no, listen, if you're recommending this as an actual proper Resident Evil fan and film fan then as well, then it's brilliant to hear. Like, fans of the game are absolutely going to love it.
Yeah. Well, plus, like, Enchanted is kind of scary.
Like, so. Susan Sarandon at that bit with the dragon and everything, it's
terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying.
No, thank you.
So that is fair enough. That's our one big release this week, and our one big trailer that we're very excited about, and I love the look of this. It's a brand new Netflix show coming in February 2022 called Inventing Anna. Now, there's a lot of quality behind this. You have Julia Garner playing the lead, Anna Delvey. So people would know her from as Ruth Langmore in Ozark. Plus, behind the scenes, making the actual show, you have Shonda Rhimes, who owns the Shondaland production company, and they made things like Scandal, but also Bridgerton, that small under the radar Netflix series as well. So you've got loads of really good people involved in this. It's based on a true crime story, so already you've got loads of people hooked. And one of my favorite parts about true crime documentaries is whenever they do the reconstruction part of it. So this is like a really stylish reconstruction of the crimes and cons of this girl called Anna Delvey, played by Julia Garner. And basically, she was a New York socialite. Everybody loved her. And then she ended up fleecing people for millions of dollars, jewelry, just everything, because they all believed that she was this massively rich German heiress, whereas actually she pretty much had nothing, and she was just really good at pretending that she was somebody else. So if you love things like Catch Me If You Can or those really stylish shows that we mentioned, then be sure to catch this whenever it's released next February. But here's a wee sneak peek for starters.
Who is this person? Who the hell is Anna Delvey?
Real hot girl shit. Do it.
It's an incredibly packed week for home releases. So, Rory, up first, we have The Last Duel. Ridley Scott, he's never out of the news. He's never out of our mouths. Isn't that right?
Yeah, no. Was it just like 2 minutes ago we were talking about House of Gucci? And Last Duel, I think, the idea of time, I feel like it only came out yesterday, but I guess not. I guess it was a few months ago. But it is landing on Disney Plus this week. It is the reason why Matt Damon was in Ireland during lockdown last year. It's a period drama thriller with Damon, Ben Affleck, Adam Driver, and Jodie Comer. It's kind of slept on. Like, it tanked at the box office, but I do genuinely think it was a very good film. It arrived at the wrong time. But now that it's on Disney Plus, you can watch it whenever you want. So anytime's the right time. I do highly recommend it.
Yeah, and Ridley will be over the moon as well, because all those pesky millennials, they won't be annoying him now on their phones whenever they're sitting at home watching it there instead. Our other release this week is coming up on Disney Plus as well. All 8 episodes of it are landing on Disney Plus the 1st of December. It is a brand new show called Devs. Now, it has been airing in the States, getting really good reviews already, but it's arriving in Ireland and the UK this week. Now, when I first heard about this, I thought, because it stars Nick Offerman, and he's kind of the head of this mysterious and sinister computer company, automatically assumed it was a comedy, especially because he looks like some kind of messianic Jesus figure. But it's actually from the brain of Alex Garland. He's the brilliant mind behind books like The Beach or screenplays like Sunshine, 28 Days Later. Plus, he also directed Ex Machina and Annihilation. So it's a real feel for, as I said, this real sinister sci-fi where everything feels lovely and wonderful, but you know there's just something nasty underneath. So, as I said, coming to Disney Plus this week. So come for Nick Offerman and stay for the crippling anxiety.
Also this week, maybe causing a little bit of anxiety, is Chucky, which is arriving on now. It shockingly has 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is the highest score of anything from the Child's Play / Chucky series or franchise. It is a TV show. It's set in the modern day. It's trying to not exactly reboot the idea of a serial killer that puts its soul into the incredibly creepy Chucky doll. Like the marketing, whoever designed the Chucky doll in the world of the movie or the show, who thought anyone was going to buy that in their right mind? Like that's no. But it's the original voice cast back being super duper creepy as Chucky. It's super violent. Apparently it's very funny, very topical, very intelligent. All these things I would never thought I would be using to describe Child's Play or Chucky, but here we are. So if you love horror and you always enjoyed like the Child's Play Chucky stuff, the new series is on now this week.
Now I know you've got absolutely loads of movies and TV shows to get through, and loads of recommendations to check out as well, but we really, really, really highly recommend The Power of the Dog coming to Netflix. It's actually available on Netflix right now, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Jesse Plemons, and Kirsten Dunst. It tells the story of two brothers. They're ranchers in Montana in 1925, and it's the story of Kirsten Dunst and how she kind of comes between the two brothers, and also how her son comes into the mix as well, played by Cody Smith-McPhee. So a really brilliant cast in the brand new film from Jane Campion. And, you know, it's no surprise that with a cast like that there's loads of Oscar buzz around this movie. But as well as that, people are saying that it's actually Benedict Cumberbatch's greatest ever performance. And if you've seen Zoolander 2, you know that is high praise indeed. But brand new on Netflix, definitely watch this film.
And something completely different that maybe isn't going to get any Oscar buzz, but deserves it, is Godzilla vs. Kong. We had Godzillas and we had Kongs, and now it's Godzilla vs. Kongs, and there's humans in it, but who cares? There's a plot maybe, but the most important thing is that there are tall buildings and monsters that knock them over for 2 hours. And if that isn't the Christmas spirit, I just don't know what is.
Yeah, an incredibly festive and violent lineup this week. You're welcome, everybody. Those are the best of the home releases this week. And now it's time for Pizza in a Movie. And Rory, when it came to this section last week, I actually pitied you. I laughed at you because you did what I did and you went full on desperate mode and ended up picking Jingle All the Way in some kind of cheap bid just to get people won over with the Christmas side of things. Now, I thought I had the whole thing cleared up because it was like 30th anniversary, Beauty and the Beast. Nobody is not going to vote for that movie. But if we can, instead of our drum roll this week, please, to reveal the results of our poll, can we actually get some jingle bells, if that's all right?
Ooh, festive.
Very nice, very nice. Although incredibly depressing for me, I have lost this week's poll. Unfortunately, I got, let me just double check the score here. It's 46% for Beauty and the Beast and 54% for Arnie chasing down Turbo Man in Jingle All the Way. So it looks like desperation paid off, Rory. Well done.
No, let's not get this twisted. Two things. One, Jingle All the Way is a terrible film, and I picked it out of spite to prove the fact that your awful Deck the Halls win from 2 weeks ago proves that this system is broken. So all we need to do is just really just dig. If you want, I don't want to win this anymore. It's gotten to the point now where I'm just did you know this good film is out? You should watch the good film, because these people, these viewers, I have questions for you all.
These people, there are wonderful listeners and viewers and subscribers.
Some of them aren't wonderful. They're picking terrible films to win. So some of them are great. Some of you are great, but the other ones, and you know who I'm talking to, you've got some stuff to answer.
Well, they're all voting for me, but what are you choosing this week for Pizza in a Movie?
Well, since it is the first week of December, I thought I would mix it up a bit and go with a Christmas movie. But I've gone with a really good one, maybe one of my favourites. I actually looked for Batman Returns, but it's not available on any streaming service at the moment, which is a real kick to the mistletoe. But I'm going with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is Shane Black's fantastic dark comedy mystery thriller with Robert Downey Jr. And Val Kilmer. It's so funny. It's so witty and clever, and the plot is a full-on old-school murder mystery, all set at Christmas. Absolutely love this movie. Like, endlessly quotable, endlessly rewatchable. I can't wait for it to lose to whatever awful film you've decided to pick this week.
That is a brilliant choice. Now, I think you'll be surprised now whenever you hear my choice. So you will be making yourself very comfortable for mine, but you can leave your hat on. Directed by Steven Soderbergh from 2012. This is to mark the occasion that the third film in this trilogy was announced this week, which will be called Magic Mike's Last Dance. But of course, I'm talking about the Channing Tatum starring, Matthew McConaughey starring, abs as far as the eye can see. It is, of course, Magic Mike, which is just a brilliantly... I think it caught a lot of people off guard in more ways than one as to how good it actually was. So that is available to watch right now on Netflix. If you are wearing only your hat anyway, like a wee Santa hat as well with a wee jingly bell, and you're absolutely sorted. So that's it. That's a good lineup. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang versus Magic Mike as well. But we'll see. It's going to be close.
So you accused me of desperation, and your response was to choose beefy, hunky, mostly naked men to get the vote, and I'm the desperate one.
I know our audience incredibly well, and I'm relying on them in a big way this week. So those are our two recommendations for Pizza and a Movie with Chicago Town Pizza, and that's pretty much a wrap for this week's show. Coming up on next week's episode, we have one of the most horrible families around. They're completely morally corrupt, and they're just awful. No, it's not Rory's Cashin family. It is, of course, the stars of Succession, so cannot wait to have those guys on the show. But who is our big star bye-bye for this week, Rory? Sorry for insulting your family as well.
Oh, that's okay. Mammy Cashin she knows how to find you, and you'll have to answer to her. So
she's actually wonderful.
So just to celebrate this week's one and only big release, we did speak to pretty much all the cast of Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. You can catch all of those interviews right now up on Joe's YouTube page or the Big Reviewski's wherever you get your podcast stuff. But right now you will hear first from Kaya Scodelario, and then from Robbie Amell, and then from Tom Hopper and Avan Yogia, because you can't do a horror movie without being asked, what is your favourite scary movie of all time?
Perfect for Christmas. I love it.
Oh, my favourite scary movie. What's the one with the little fairy things that were terrifying?
Little fairy things.
The little fairy, they were terrifying, and there were loads of them, and they
Is
were
it like Gremlins or Christmas?
Gremlins. So that's given me nightmares since I watched that when I was way too young. I also watched The Exorcist when at my 8th birthday party sleepover, and my mother got called into the school because all the other parents had complained about it, and she got in a lot of trouble, and we traumatized a lot of kids that night.
This one.
Okay, so what's your second favorite scary movie?
Jaws.
Favorite scary movie of all time. I think Rosemary's Baby.
That's a good
one.
My
favorite scary movie of all time. I'm such a sucker for psychological. I'm gonna vamp while you figure it out, Tom. I'm such a sucker for psychological horror. I think there's nothing more skin crawling than those films that really handle dread very well. And I think Resident Evil, Rosemary's Baby, and Resident Evil, but Rosemary's Baby does really capture an incredible dread. You never feel easy at any point. You feel uneasy the entirety of that film, and I love that.
Now, I've talked about this before in the sense that it was the most iconic for me because it was the first one I watched. And I think purely based on what a horror movie is supposed to do to a person in that scare the living life out of them, would be Scream, because it still sits with me today as as a moment in horror where I was just so deeply affected by scenes from it.